Morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here. First of all, I must thank you very much for the organizer, especially Raquel, we say in Brazil, and it's not here, but later on I will introduce myself. And thank you very much for all the organizers that helped me to come here, with all the facility. I must say also, congratulations for the organizer because you realize that must be open to discuss also homeopathy to agriculture. There is a very big reason because if you're thinking to extend, to increase application of homeopathy in agriculture, so there is a very open field to use it. I'm so sorry I'm not talking about the basic research and nor about the clinical experiment because I myself I'm more involved on education now, education of homeopathy applied to agriculture. So I put in very, very simple way, maybe some word, if you cannot understand my talking, I put a lot figure, a lot picture, maybe you can enjoy, yeah? So, let's go. The reason I'm working at the same time in a research extension service, that is a PAGRI, you have here a PAGRI, and also university. So the kind of work that I'm doing is from the university to the farmer, but not in the way that we need to have the source of knowledge and then to extend of that, but make in different way, yeah? I show you. So this is, I'm sure that we, day by day, as I could see yesterday, a very deep discussion about homeopathy and basic science, also the clinical, very, very, very nice, and I will bring this learning to Brazil, sure. But we have together from the beginning, you know, Hahnemann, and we have always in a very warm debate, I would say so. And now we want to also use homeopathy to cure plants, to cure, to apply on water, soil, and to cure also animal as population, herd, not individually. So the first question is rising, how to do that? We have three sources basically to use homeopathy on agriculture. The first one is complex. And here I have the data from Monica. Monica is studying master degree with Leonid that you know very well, Homeopathia. This is one sort of homeopathic preparation that we can use on agriculture. And Monica sent me this data. We have in Brazil about 2 million head of cattle treated per year. So that means about 7% of the total cattle in Brazil. It's quite rather high. Yeah? If this is supplied from the complex from the 14 industry. If we add more 10 industry that in such a way they are producing complex homeopathy for treating plants, then we have 24 industry. But they are mainly about the field crop and more or less in the scale production. So we may consider also the second source of homeopathic preparation to apply it on agriculture, and that is called nosode. So nosode is a kind of very practical way. You will take the local resource and then you make an homeopathic preparation such as this. But has been proven there is sometimes are equal efficacy to manage plant, to manage pest and disease as the classical homeopathy, as you can see in two cases here. Also, take for example ectoparasite from the animal, you can make nosode. And more or less in Brazil, we estimated 200,000 farmers that had at least contact with this kind of technology, we'd say, to control pest and disease on plant. If we consider that we have about 4 million families, so it's about 2-3% of the family that has at least know that there is a homeopathy and they can use this on agriculture. This I'm speaking Brazil, of course. But then arises a question to myself, and also we discussed this, what about pharmacy? That in Brazil we can ask for a so-called magistral recipe. So the pharmacy manipulate this, and you can order in what potency you desire, what you need to apply in agriculture. And the other question also, what about the huge library that we have still about homeopathy? We don't use this. And also the third one is, are the people, I mean the farmer, included in this as such as the system in the whole that is deserved to treat it? So why we include people? Because in short we can say agriculture is not more than cropping, plant cropping and animal breeding. And who are doing that are people. So this is called in short domestication. So people are involved, and we must consider people. So agriculture we can also understand as a subsystem interaction. And then we have, for example, the bees, we have the soil, we have garden, we have livestock, but also housing. This is inside. So we must consider people in our use of homeopathy on farm, on agriculture, I would say. So the third option should be, I think so, I correct myself, all the complex also nosod has their rule, because they are applying in such condition. But also, this the third source of homeopathy, that's classical homeopathy. We have an opportunity to discuss with the farmer in different situations. So include the farmer, and in such a way that here I present. So the Córdoba Curioso make a system analysis by imaging metrics, and what they found was, with help of Fanny also in UMIP. And what they found to take in the case with the farmer, and to discuss homeopathy to apply, for example, pasture, another crop, also cattle. So the homeopathy get into as material input. But to speak with the family, also get into the information. They change. They want to know what is homeopathy. It's not different than herbs. It's different than. But can I use this? Can I heal that? And so on. So it's a such of increasing knowledge in an aspiral way. So by changing the people, by changing the people through information, they change the thing. And the other surrounding can see that it's changing the thing. So I can change also my mind, change my farm. And so there is such of a spiral, change like that, involve other people surrounding. So it's more than introduce a technology, it's rethinking about the system production. And then, so the question is raised, can we have the same homeopathy, or do we have do we need research? Do we need to build another knowledge basis? So some say, no, it's the same homeopathy, don't worry. So just to use that. No time or no reason to wait for. So just use it. But then rise the question, this is always, the homeopathic materia medic that we have available is built for human being, not for animal. Yes, it's rather different, human being than animal, and then plant more even. So shall we produce a materia medica for plant, for water, for soil, bees, and so on, so on? So I ask myself, how long does it take? And then, is it still homeopathy? Because we need to discuss also philosophy, methodology, and so on, this sort of thing. So let's put a third option. No need for new science, really. We must use in the same library, the same source of knowledge, the same set of homeopathy to cure people, animal, plant, soil. So it's the same methodology. But to call homeopathy as such, we need to keep the similia similibus curantur. We are by sure. We need to keep that. And so in this, we need to understand how is running, for example, the cattle, we have a veterinarian, but we have also the farmer. Here is the beekeeper, also the wife together, how they are, their behavior, the surroundings one, the plant. Always, you see, the people is involved on it. So to extend homeopathy to agrosystem or sub-agrosystem must be an integrative approach, really. But we are speaking, and we define in such a way, at the second level of similitude. Why so? Because the first level of similitude, I think, well, you can disagree, of course, is just for a human being. Because you can feel all the principles that characterize the Hahnemannian homeopathy, if you agree of that, of course, the 4 or the 7 principle. And if you take it, for example, you prioritize to treat animal as population, you make even indirect correlation with the materia medica that is built for human being. When you are thinking or you take the case and you choose some symptom for plant, you make an indirect analogy. So this more or less is what the alternism or complexism or organism line, they use it. Also, it's not complete all because they use 2 remedy. So we are more or less at the second level of similitude what we use for a human being. But even we can build a level of similitude because the agriculture is so complex, so diverse, and we can build in such a way. For instance, take the healthy forest soil, make homeopathic preparation, and to treat the sick one. This is such kind of way we can build up. And we feel all the principle of homeopathy, but probably not, of course, not the proven, and not one remedy because more complex is the homeopathic preparation. So how to do that? I mean, what the procedure? It's a call for re-signify, really. To understand the philosophy and the principle of homeopathy applied to human being in the line of Hahnemann and the line of Kant. Of course, not all things, because if you think how can we apply the 11 prognostic of Kant, is rather difficult to see this in plant or in agro-ecosystem. So we need to re-signify thinking, always stay in the classical homeopathy, and then think what can I see this in the agriculture. So it's more or less a call for re-signify. So the focus now is not the organism itself, one, but the system is understanding as organism. And then we can also define which system is the interest of my. Is just the plant, or is the crop, or do we need also include the farmer? Then is a question to define what is the system which deserve be healing. Also, the total symptom is the same. We go to the farm and we just take all the symptom, and afterwards we see, oh, is this subsystem that we need to stick for applying homeopathy? For instance, here also you may by yourself who need to cure, because you see the spray and go up. And the third one is an example, just an exercise. The integrative of organism is the integrative of the system, agriculture system as all. So there is an interaction among the system that is a subsystem is sick, all the system became also in such a level sick also. So this is an integrative approach. Because of that, this is an integrative approach. Of course, this makes it more easy to understand because vitalism, we can see all living being, but also we can see as an entity of organization in the farm. Yeah? We extend this. So, of course, we bring some knowledge closely to homeopathy, such as the theory of information, of course, and the others. Healing reaction, we need to suppose that there is such healing reaction. Because you apply homeopathy and then nothing happens, so maybe, yeah, it's not a case of cure of homeopathy. So, but then you need to see in different way, because the plant has a cycle. The human and animal, they maybe react and suddenly 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 day, and so on. But the plant, no, they take more longer. Or if you see the landscape a bit broader, such as a crop, you need to wait for harvesting and so on. So it's a bit different. For that, we need to re-signify what is the reaction of healing in the agroecosystem and what do you use it to cure. Sorry, I got a bit cold, sorry. Of course, we need, sorry, we need to bring some theory, knowledge, such as system theory and ecological theory, to help us to understand the agriculture as such for applying correct homeopathy. And this, the methodology to take the case is basically the same. We follow basically the same as we have here, and I'm not going to put in detail. And also we need to see, is there some constraint to applying homeopathy that you need to understand it? So this is a system analysis, you know very well. Well, then there is another question. Are we keeping, you say that it's a Hahnemannian thought, is unicism, maybe yes, but still keeping all this diversity that we have in agriculture, still keeping the thought of Hahnemann. So always I'm thinking myself, when I have a contact with these papers from Kibeni and Madsen, they are published in the Homeopathy Journal. Very interesting. They bring the Lakatos philosophy of science and they reinterpret him into homeopathy. So for this, homeopathy must have a hardcore that identified this area of science as such. And then what we do in agriculture is given a more strongly protective belt. And this gives the progressiveness of homeopathy, as you are doing. The same. Also, so applying homeopathy is such kind of, we open the field, but also we empower in the homeopathy, in this sense of Lakatos. So, indeed, it's an example. For example, taking a case in livestock. So the first step is to get into, you have it confidence, and then anamnese is totally symptom, as you do for a human being, and see who is the sick organism, and then we make the repertorization. Sorry, it's in English, but some symptom, for example, abandon is from people, is from farmer. Also, this afraid is from farmer. Fair is from farm. And then how to use it, we train in the farm, for example. And this, we must pursue the true healing, if is the homeopathic case for cure, or we need to change. In the plant, we do rather the same. Yeah. So in short, we have this table. Up here, you have homeopathy, so we have the same source of materia medica, and then here, how to treat human, animal, plant, of course, in agriculture is animal, plant, and environment. So this is for an example for the main symptom. But we have also the similitude. We can use this. I give you some example of that. And also we need to use epidemic genus for the animal, for the population, and also for the plant, for the crops. But we have also, this is very interesting, miasm. So the 5 miasm. Also we try to understand which of the 5 miasm is predominant. And we have some remedy that we can apply, and we really recommend to apply, and they apply. What we have done so far, this is our lab, homeopathy and we call homeopathy and plant health. So this is belong to Santa Catarina state, is in South Brazil state. Here's the, just have a look, internal of homeopathy. Yeah, I must say that who bring homeopathy in Brazil in a more open application, I mean more social assessment, 5 minutes, yes, was Bento Moore. Bento Moore also was the first person that did research or maybe start to apply to cure plant with homeopathy, and that was potato. Very interesting. This was published in French in the last in the end of the 40s, last century, before that. So, homeopathy in Brazil, the sense more in the agriculture, yeah, it started before of that, but in the 90s, yeah, and nowadays is, we can use this through the regulation, no restriction use for organic food production. And here is some institute that we are working with, some other more in central Brazil, but the research is done more in central south, this institution, no? And it's connected more for post-graduation program. Here our team, our group, at the beginning, now is this. Yeah, so where we produce some scientific works and running these two examples that they take our courses and master in PhD, and then go back to university, and then they have their own research group. Here we have also some connection with Europe, for example, more Coventry University, Leo, the former time, Rovere, and some work with Bologna University, is some already ended with Groningen University. Here you have, there is an apostle, Charlotte, is still doing his research. So, and is Julian, both of them are doing co-tutela research. And we did some basic research such as this, some under semi-controlled, under field condition also, and this on farm research. Well, we use a lot of stakeholders, of course, and this is the last approach that we use as action research. So this through study case that we give in the courses. So the courses is composed by 4 parts. The first is philosophy. We discuss philosophy, methodology, miasm, and chronic disease, and so on. Vitalism. The second part, materia medica. The third one, how to take the sick system. And then is mandatory to run a case study. But always we trained it. So we have this already up till now, 23 courses. Of course, the case study is very, very important and interesting because the people, the farmer, get into this. They such a kind of appropriation of knowledge, and they feel homeopathy internal of them. Yeah, it's the same of this is apis. Well, just some example more. It's a disaster in Minas Gerais that we had about the mineral. In the end, for after 7-8 years, it became like that, so not good for planting or growing nothing over there. And this Maria Cristina brings some sample of soil and make this experiment, And this for the 4th symptom that she used to find the best remedy. One was from people, you see? One for the 4th. The other 3 from the plant that are like that. Yeah? So in the same also, for instance, when they are running the case study with animal, someone help always is necessary. 1 minute, yes. Extension service like that, the courses. So we prepare also for manipulation, the homeopathy like this, and take the anamnesis, always on the field, and this the last, of course. Yeah, and somewhere also, they have a big seminar, and afterwards they apply for a specific course of homeopathy. This is run for 1 day. And then we have an overlook also this, homeopathy on garden. This is from Minas Gerais. Yeah, making a very nice the garden. Show this the homeopathy in different plant, animal, and mineral. Well, this is our first Brazilian Congress of Homeopathy on Agriculture and Environment, and there is an online course ongoing now with this participant in this country. Yes, also. Yeah, this was in the 23. Enjoying meeting with ECH, very interesting. And then from this rise another international course. This is, you have here the program. And well, the course was coordinated by Eliana and Leonardo. But I must say thank you so much to Jean-Pierre because he understands to open homeopathy for agriculture inside the forum of homeopathy with human being. So this I left, this is the last one, I left to the fire young homeopath, especially is from Herman. He said, thus I pay no attention to ingratitude or persecution on my troubled path through life, which up till now has not shown itself to be lacking in joy. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you.